All right, Mr. Stephen Orr, how are you doing today? Welcome to Benzinga Live.
Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate that. As a former Benzinga employee, I love it. I'm here live from Davos, Switzerland at the beautiful Alpen Gold Hotel.
Nice. They have a big event out in Davos, right?
They sure do. It's always been a dream of mine to actually participate at the World Economic Forum. And this time around, they've asked me to speak. So I'm very excited to speak on AI.
Well, awesome. Yeah, before we get into that, why don't we, do you mind giving our audience, since you're a first time guest, just a quick, brief introduction, who you are, what you do, and why these people in Davos care about you speaking there?
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. That's very true. Look, I am the CEO and founder of a new company called Quasar Markets. As you know, I helped build several financial platforms, and I wanted to build my own, one that I thought was very pertinent to both institutional traders as well as retail traders. And we did that. And we're going to go live February the 2nd at quasarmarkets.com. And what's interesting, Aaron, is I was just at the Benzinga conference in New York City, and we won the award for AI.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, this has been a very AI dominant episode of Benzinga Live. It's been a very AI dominant past year in the markets. You can't tell the story of 2023's bull market. Q's up over 40% without, of course, talking about AI and the driver that was for major companies like NVIDIA, like Meta, like Microsoft. So what are you
But
going
you
to
know
be?
what, Aaron? You know what's interesting is 7 years ago when I first started talking about AI, people thought I was crazy, right? And today it's in our lives every day. And I think two of the things we need to worry about is how pertinent it is in our life, how do we use it, and the second thing is it something that we have a secure issue around it, right? People are worried about Terminator 2 coming out, and I don't think that's the case, right? I think we need to understand AI as how we apply it to trading and I think I heard from Ryan Parnell, your previous guest, was talking about AI. Don't use ChatGPT. He's 100% correct. But what if I could take ChatGPT, OpenAI, and other ones like Anthropic and actually attach those to actual databases like Edgar and Fred and get much better data, much more pertinent data, and definitely things that are up to date as opposed to something that's a couple of years old?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's where we're at now for a lot of people that are familiar with AI is what the public is seeing with ChatGPT. Sure, all that stuff's great, and it's, a testament to our innovation and technology. But it's really the whole thing with AI is how it's going to get progressively better. And the thing, like, smart people like yourself are going to learn how to use these tools, connect them to databases, and make them more useful than they were before. And we're just kind of go. It's not like it's going to stop. It's not like the progress is going to stop. It's not like these things are going to, not become more useful over time. Of course, whatever problems ChatGPT has today, they're probably not going to have 5 years from now. There's probably going to be some other problems that will still have to be ironed out, but it's going to continue to progressively get better. Can you talk a little bit about some of the specific topics within like rebuilding trust that you're going to be talking about in Davos?
Yeah, you're right. Davos's theme this year is rebuilding trust and transparency. And I think considering all the things that happened at FTX and with SBF, and of course with Poing, trust is important, especially in the finance world, right? When you have lots of money on the line, trust is probably the number one thing that we have today, right? I mean, we make brokers go through tests, we make them have background checks. So why not have that in the crypto space too as well? I also think that when you're looking at trust and transparency here, they have brought a lot of people here. And for the first time in WEF, we call it WEF here, the first time at WEF, they're talking about equality. And I think that's unbelievably awesome, right? Where you're talking about equality within women and genders and we're looking at colors. I think that is awesome stuff, right? You're finally getting rid of all of us old white guys and kind of bringing in some better quality people, I think, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean that's you're living a dream of mine. I hope someday I get to go to Davos too, Stephen, and check it out.
Hey, I'll be here next year if you want to come, Aaron. Be my guest with me.
Would love to. What about with I know that you were slightly impacted by the plane news over the weekend between Boeing and United Airlines. Do you have any hot takes there? Were you trading these stocks? What happened?
Yeah, it's a very point. I had a Boeing 737 Max that's flying from Tampa to Newark, Newark over to here in Zurich. We're in Davos, a little south of Zurich. Yeah, Boeing sent me a text that says, "Hey, due to the problems, the FAA has grounded us, and we have a problem." And so my wife, God bless her, was out running around trying to get new plane tickets for us so we can get over here as fast as possible, and it worked out. But what's interesting? I think the FAA did the right thing. Grounding the planes. We didn't know what was wrong, and Boeing has had some serious problems. When you look at all of the things surrounding Boeing, whether that's the plane itself or how we're using it, because they're replacing a lot of the Airbuses at Boeing. And of course, and I was on United Airlines. So United Airlines uses it all the time, right? And so they had to actually take a lot of planes off of the tarmacs and put in Airbuses. So that's a big deal. And I said flat out, the first thing we should be doing is shorting Boeing stock. But I said that right on Friday, I said, you know what? I think probably this buy the dip mentality has been right in play, and it happened right today. Obviously, and yesterday, people were buying the dip on Boeing. I don't think that's the case. And I think Boeing has got more problems to work through. I don't think that the FAA and the Department of Transportation is going to be so easy on them. The one thing I noticed about Boeing on this one is the whole world stopped the planes very quickly. That's not normal, right? Usually they let the FAA administrators make some decisions. This time, every government just said no. That's to me is the first.
Yeah, and I mean, it might help, or it might make sense, I guess, that they would do that considering the same. I don't know if it was the exact same model, because I know it was like the Boeing 747 MAX 9 was the one where this door flew off. But of course, a few years ago, right before the COVID pandemic, the 747 MAX had two major crashes that grounded. They had to ground the plane for like a whole year while they figured out the problems with it. So now that they're having more problems with the same model, or at least the same type of model, it might make sense that they're like, all right, hold on, let's just stop everything and figure out what's going on.
That model only had little problems, right? This model had a door blowout. I mean, and people were on the plane when it happened. So that's the first thing that the administrator has to look at is there any safety and health issues when it comes to flying? It is literally the safest way of travel, right? We know that, safer than cars. But when a door blows out, a door not even supposed to be there, that's a massive problem to me. And I think that's also going to affect United stock as well. But I did watch the CEO come out, and I think they did a pretty good job explaining the issue here, that there are a few nuts and bolts that are tightened down. I don't think that's the case. I think there's more to it than just that, but we'll see. But I will say this much: Boeing is a great company. It'll be around for many, many years, even after we're gone, producing planes. And hopefully better than the ones they're producing now, and safer. But I will say this much. Look, they've been producing planes for over 150 years. This isn't going to be anything different. I think we're okay.
I think Boeing will be okay in the long run, too. There'll probably be some more shakeout from this. I got a quick note from our very own Benzinga's Patrick Lane. Told me to tell you hi. Here he is. He might want to come say
Patrick!
Hi. Patrick, you got to come around to this microphone. I'll send it over to you. Here you go. Put these on to hear him.
You know what sucks, Steve? It sucks being a chubby guy trying to get behind a desk. It's really not fun.
I just did that, Patrick.
It's not fun, man. It's not fun. You know what? I love you, Steve Orr. I love what you're building over there. And I heard that my guy Bree was talking to you, and I just had to come over and say, hey.
I appreciate that. I think one of the things that I'm very proud of to say that on my resume, former senior vice president of Benzinga, let me tell you, I'm very, very, very proud of you, Patrick, and the team that you built at Benzinga. You guys have done a great job. I think you guys, I was just with you in New York, right, at the Benzinga conference. And
that's right.
I tell you, there wasn't enough I could say good about Benzinga. Everything was great. I love that.
Thank you. We had a good time with you guys.
We'll talk about the other stuff, but one of the things that when I'm building Quasar Markets was to be able to integrate all that. Other companies that are doing good stuff out there and being able to put them into a place that everybody can see that, right? And I wanted to do that. The world of fintech is very fragmented, and I think that's one thing Benzinga has done a very good job. right? You guys have brought the news in, you brought events in, and you brought a platform, and that's good stuff. And that's what people need to understand is that the world of finance isn't all bad. All we ever see is the SPFs of the world, right? You see that in the news. But when people like you guys are bringing good things out and showing good people that are, 95% of the world of fintech is actually good people. It's just only when we see the people that are doing the bad things.
Saying that, I really appreciate you saying it because it's our mission, right? We know there's so many different things in the news cycle that we all hear about, but the world of finance, the world of fintech, there's a lot of innovation happening. You guys are doing it. We're trying to help. We're trying to shine the spotlight on the world moving behind the scenes, right?
Yes.
And it's really cool to see what you've built too, man. So hello again.
It's interesting when you watch the news and you see all these bad things happening in the world. And sometimes I've seen Benzinga live and some of the good things that makes me happy, right? The social aspect of all this is even better. Your previous guest was talking about, don't listen to things in the chat GPT and all that. He's totally right? But when you have good things coming together and the ecosystem coming together like yourself and ours, look, that is what makes a much better trader, a better informed trader, better experienced, and actually in the long run makes more money, which is the whole key of what we're doing.
Amen to that. Wouldn't be the same if that wasn't the goal. I'll pass it back to Mr. Bree. Mr. Orr, it's good to see you, sir. Later, man.
Thank you, Patrick.
Of course.
All right, well, that was a fun little surprise. I got to see Mr. Lane here on Benzinga Live, maybe for the first time ever.
I think it's the Lane brothers, right? And his brother too, doing cannabis, right?
Yeah, Elliot is Elliot's still with us, but he's not in the office right now. All right, well, Steven, I guess let's before we wrap, got 2 more minutes left. Tell me a little bit more about Quasar and what you guys are doing, and what should we expect when this thing goes live in less than a month now?
Yeah, we go live February 2nd, quasarmarkets.com. One of the things that we wanted to do is the world of fintech, as I said earlier, is very fragmented, right? There's little pieces, there's charting companies, and there's news companies. What if I could put that all in one space, into one place for very cheap, for $14.99 a month, and you can buy the news you want. And your previous guest was talking about that, right? You need more than one news source. We got several news sources. You let the user decide. And I think that's the key to any platform is personalization. And I wanted to create a platform. I wanted to really create the Amazon of finance, where anything and everything was actually in the platform. A place where it didn't matter if you used Fidelity or E-Trade, or you used this type charting or that type charting, it'll all be in there and you make the decision. We also built it on Web3, so there's no need for a web app. There's no need, and it's real quick. You can move things around very easily. You can watch TV. We'll put Benzinga Live in our platform. I think that's exciting too. Look, there's a lot of things that we're going to do, and I think February 2nd is we're going to release the whole thing, including the AI side of that. We have an institutional AI as well as a retail AI, where you can literally follow along with all of the users and find out what people are asking. When you're using ChatGPT or OpenAI, it's just a one-on-one. But what if I could see what everybody's talking about on AI? We could get a much clearer picture of what the user is thinking and what eventually what the investor is buying.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I'll go ahead and drop the link in the chat for folks that want to check out more. And then again, less than a month away. So, Steven, once this thing is live, we might have to have you back on and walk us through it and see, what the buzz is all about.
I would be happy to do that, Aaron. I appreciate it, and thank you so much for having me on the show here.
Of course. Enjoy Davos. Enjoy Switzerland. I don't know what I don't know. I'm thinking like Swiss Miss hot chocolate right now, so maybe have a nice hot chocolate. I know they have a good chocolate there, right? Yeah, so maybe eat some chocolate for me. Bring some back if you're flying on a plane that's not a 747. If it is, then don't bring it on. I don't want you to bring on any extra weight than what's already on the plane. We don't need to cause any more problems for it.
I agree. One thing that we're looking to do here in Switzerland is go down to Zermatt. I wanted to go see for my 50th birthday. I wanted to go see the Matterhorn, so we're going to go see the Matterhorn as well and go hang out with some friends too as well.
Awesome. That sounds like a great early 50th birthday treat right there, Steven. So again, enjoy your time. Hit me up when you're back. We'll connect another time for you to come on. And yeah, congrats on the speaking gig at the WEF, as you call it. That's huge. That's big time.
Thank you very much, Aaron.
Of course.